2 of Behind the Scene with Gen V.
So yeah,
It's
so I
alliteration. It's the
it's
DD.
alliteration.
Yeah. The
Yes.
dead dad.
Damn
That's
it.
what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, and then also it could lend itself like where we do a fun radio thing where we really just love the concept of improv, where we go in and we're being interviewed and we are clearly making up what this is all about by me just saying one very short thing and having you say a very short thing. And we like build and discover what this important thing is together, like try to get ourselves into as much trouble as possible. And I don't know if it's your experience, if you need experience for this or you don't, but I find like if you paint yourself into a weird corner, it always works out. So, you know what I mean? So that sometimes I like doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Ben likes to scare himself.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. Definitely.
Yeah. Because I feel like
Yeah.
that's how I'm getting better, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas I'm not so, I don't really like pain. You know what I mean? The cruise. Okay, cool. So, what I want to do is because we both really cognitively know what where trajectories are going and all that sort of stuff. Let's just try
What do you
and
mean? What do you mean about what do you mean we know what our trajectory is?
well, you know what my intention was now, what I was thinking. I know what your intention was, but I want
Oh,
to go to the scene as if we didn't know what
yes.
our intentions were. So let's just take that second with just that last bit of dialogue and take
Yeah,
that time again.
repeat whatever we said. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
We got this. I
It's
think
we do
I
have
think we
this. We
do
got
we have
this.
it?
We
Do we have this?
I don't know any of the material.
No. That's just it's just being on the spot. It's there. It's like it'll come to you like
Like, do
when
I
he
have it
starts
in my
asking the
heart
question.
though? Like, is it in me right now? Like, do I have it?
Yes, you have it. But just when the
Okay.
questions start
All right.
coming,
Okay.
we're
Okay.
come
Here.
we're
Okay. All right. Okay.
okay. We're gonna go in. We're gonna go in. We're just gonna listen to the questions. We're just gonna answer the questions. We're not gonna think too much about the questions. We're just gonna answer the questions. Okay?
Okay. All right. So, okay. All
Right.
right. So, lots of stuff happened there. I'm going to spit them off as fast as I can, rapid fire, then we
Yeah.
can address any of them. One is that
Yeah.
we talked over each other because we have experience, and like as soon as you start talking over the other person, if you're not experienced, what you're doing is basically screwing everything up and not listening and not working together with your partner. If you are experienced, it's usually a sign that like, oh, now I'm telling my partner, I totally get what's happening. Like
Yeah.
we're talking over each other. It's almost like showing off. I did a show with again Susan Messing recently, and one of the things I was proudest of is that I think it was in the first scene we were just straight up yelling at each other, and like both of us pretending that we're not hearing what the other person's saying. It was
Yeah.
just like it was a thrill. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is great. Okay, so there that happened. We did a few more of the switches, which I
Mm.
think I enjoyed, and hopefully the audience would enjoy.
Yeah.
And I even consciously made sure to switch one more time when you were like, "This is the way things are." Um, Another thing happened where I meant to say something like, "I don't know any of the material. I've
Yeah,
been
you did
these
say yeah.
yeah, this is like building like little bricks rather than, my heart says like, say, I don't know any of the lines,
Mm.
which says like I'm an actor or something like that. But
Yeah,
my
but you said
mouth's
material, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
but my mouth says material, and I think it's either like a what they call wimping or like being too scared to be specific, or it's me enjoying the fact that I'm instead of like they say bring a brick and not a cathedral,
Yes.
to what I
Yeah,
think,
totally.
but that's me like bringing like a quarter of a brick, like to
I
super
thought it
slow build
was
it.
no, I thought it was generous in the sense that if you had have said lines, you're pretty much dictating what this is. If you say material, you're still leaving it just one last chance for me to name it,
Mm.
for your partner to name it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Can I just say real quick? It's
Mm.
it's interesting the dynamic that you're talking about, where like I and you're saying that a lot. Like
Mm,
you're doing this, so that lets me do that. The way
mm.
I see this is like us as this amoeba where we're doing this together. So I don't even really think of like,
Yeah.
occasionally if I talk like for an hour and I might be like, oh, I should let Lindsay in on this or vice versa. But for the most part, I feel like it's us as this weird entity moving things together. So if
Mm.
I end up doing all the specifics in a show and you don't give a single one, I probably won't notice.
Yeah.
And again, vice versa.
Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting. So what I saw as well, yes, we cycled a couple of times, like with the changes and the emotion, and then Ben did something that I don't know if this is true, but I'm just saying this is what I think it is. There was a cycle that was happening, and Ben felt like that had to end in some way, so he turned as if there was someone else there, so that you break that pattern just because otherwise like it might just keep going and going and going and going and then it gets boring or whatever it is. So it's kind of like that pattern's there. We know the pattern, we've seen the pattern, the audience understands the pattern now it's got to be broken. We're in another beat now we've seen somebody, and then at that moment when you went oh like that, then I knew okay, we're on radio, or we're going on radio, or we're going because
Yeah,
now there's somebody who's asking us to come on. So then I was able to get more specific and go, okay, just listen to the questions they're going to ask. So now we know, okay, we're about to go on somewhere. There's going to be somebody interviewing us about something,
great,
like,
great. Yeah. And just to be clear, I wasn't doing that to break it up. I enjoy the cyclical nature and stuff, but there is a point. I have this rule that I follow pretty religiously, but I'm allowed to be sacrilegious more often than I let my students be. And this is the rule of three vagaries. If like I'm vague and then you're vague and then I'm vague, the fourth one has to be specific, because like, all right,
interesting.
enough with the vague
Okay.
because it just
Yeah.
usually is not helpful. Um,
Yeah.
so that's why when I introduce something, am I shouting, by the way? I feel like I'm shouting now.
No, you're passionate.
I'm passionate. Okay. I have to
Yeah.
be passionate and quieter though.
You
Okay.
can be.
So, so that's why I feel that, what were we talking about?
So vagary specific, is it? Or vagary specific? Is vagary specific?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the three vagary rules. You're allowed to
Three
be vague
vagary.
three times. Yeah. If you're only allowed
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
vague
yeah.
twice, then that's kind of like a little bit too harsh. Like, oh, you were vague once, I was vague once. I have to be specific now. It's like
Yeah.
not necessarily. So, the reason I turned is again, that was bringing like a quarter of a brick saying, we'll be right there, right? That
Yes.
says we're about to do something that is official, that
Mm-hmm.
two people are needed for, and it does allow space for you or me or this amoeba that I was talking about
Mm.
to create the where we're
Like
going next kind of
the
thing.
circumstances, yeah. And there was something else that just popped in my head too, when you said that. Yes, because there's also another school of thought that talks about never do improv talking about something that you could be doing, and that's Keith Johnstone. So when you're going right, yes, we're coming. It's like we're not going to talk about this anymore. We're going to do the thing. We're going to be on the show. We're
Yeah,
going to do
any
the thing.
second
We're not
now.
going to talk about. Yeah. We're not going to talk about it. Because
Right.
we spent,
And
this long talking about it. Now we have to do the thing, and that is a classic Keith Johnstone. Do not talk about the thing. Do the thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and that's and he stole that from like all the writing and everything of plays and
Yes,
movies and things
that's
like that.
yeah.
So the
He was
only
a playwright.
exception,
Yeah.
yeah, and so then
Mm.
the only exception to that, I think, is having the entire thing be just
Yeah.
talking about the thing. So like we
Exactly.
do an hour-long show, hyping ourselves up, and then we get
Yeah.
on, and
Yeah.
then they bring us to the room, and then they're like, "Oh, guys, sorry, we ran out of time. Why don't you guys come next week?"
Yeah.
Right? And that's
I
and
like
that
that, but yeah. Anyway, that's
yeah,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
that becomes a show about whatever happens during that time, right?
Mm.
Like maybe we find
Mm.
out our deeper friendship, or we find out that one of us is having an affair, or one of us is a fraud, and all that stuff. Things that can happen before going on to the show. And then the we'll be right there thing is actually a ticking clock that adds tension to what's
Yeah.
happening between us here. And
Yeah.
so
Interesting. Okay,
if you
cool.
have,
That's interesting. I wouldn't have seen that. So we do have the option, guys, of that being the game. that the guy just keeps coming and go, you gotta come, you gotta come. And then the last time, we're done. It's done. You guys didn't, so there's that as well. Now, I didn't even think of that at the time. I just thought, oh, okay, Keith Johnstone, do it. We got to do it. Well, we don't have to do it. We don't have to. It could just be this guy just keeps saying you got to do it, right? And again, part of the Johnstone thing is, like you said, Ben, there's a lot of storytelling and narrative that comes from that school. And a lot to do with storytelling is advancing the story. And so you don't want to be talking about it. You want to advance the story. Whereas that option of us never doing the thing is more expanding it. So what are the emotional things that are going on, the internal journey as opposed to the external sort of plot driven.
But I think you're talking about two different things. So what I was saying is actually, if Johnstone is like, go ahead and do the thing.
Yeah, do the thing.
What I'm saying is that the thing, if we stay here and focus on this, I'm still going to be trying to advance our relationship, advance what we're talking about, advance and build here. And then you and I discover, and the audience discovers at the same time, that the actual story is what's happening here. And this is just some element of it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I just want to differentiate there, is that I'm not saying, because the other thing that you're saying is advance or expand. The way I talk about it with my students is like, you can color, you can advance, or reflect. So, which is basically advance is, I turned off my camera. So is this going left?
Towards me.
No, it's going right? So this is going left. Okay. So advance is going forward, right? If it was Hebrew, it'd be this way. But advance is going this way, right? So advance is going this way. Reflect is going back in time, right? And color is just being here and being here in the moment. Speaking of the moment, someone is ringing my doorbell right now.
I can hear that.
You can?
I can hear that.
Please pause here. See you in
I
the
will
moment.
pause.
We're going to color.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to pause it. Okay, we've unpaused. He's dealt with the man. So I don't know what that means, but that's...
I want to let you know that I'm American and I believe in the Second Amendment. That's all I'm saying. So
okay.
So when it comes to, I was saying that advancing is moving forward and reflecting is looking back, and hopefully talking about how it relates to now. Who knows? And then color, can be just details about what's happening right now. Now, I did that because it's very important. Everything in improv needs to be an acronym. Otherwise, people can't get geeky about it and intellectual about it. So I made it CAR. I've seen someone else do CARE, and I don't even know if the C and the A and the R and the E stand for the same things there, especially since I don't have an E. So
what's the A?
Every school's got something different. They're all wrong if it's not taught by me or Lindsay.
Totally. I just want to bring to everyone's attention, and just so to stop confusion as well, that in some schools of improv, advancing the story means that we bring in a new character, we change location, we move ahead in time. There is a kind of practical, physical change that happens in it. Whereas expanding the story means that we find out more of the character's inner life and that we don't move from where we are. So that's a kind of two-way of looking at it. So either you're pushing the story forward. So, for example, a Bruce Willis movie is a lot of advancing, a lot of action, a lot of things happen, but it's not very expansive. We don't really know about his character or his wife's character. We don't go into detail about what kind of people they are because it's an action movie, as opposed to something that is, I don't know, I can't think of one offhand, but an art house film probably, that doesn't have much sort of physical, like moving around, changing and action happening, but there's a lot going on emotionally or relationship wise or something like that.
Got it. Okay. I'm horrified to hear that. I think that I would like advancing in storytelling for millennia. I think, ask ChatGPT, I don't know, is like characters making choices, and that's it. So if we were just in the moment here and we were saying, well, like, let's say the scene that we're just performing in, right? Mm-hmm. So we're not, in some ways, we were just in the moment. So let's say expansion, I'm nervous, and you're like, everything's going to be okay. We're here. And then you say, is things going to be okay? right? And then actually that's a bit of an advance is the way that I see it. It's like now something's changed, right? Our dynamic. So it's like a change. And then I stayed in that moment with you for a second and I was like, I don't know. Are things going to be okay? I don't know. And if you and I just went back and forth like that, say like, I don't know if things are going to be okay. I don't know if things are going to be okay either. Oh gosh. Oh, like what if the sky falls and you're like, yeah, well, what if we lose our car? We do that forever. That's more expansion. But then if
Okay.
once I say, you know what? It is going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
advancing.
right. So you're talking about it more mechanically, it sounds like. So the semantics are slightly different. I just want to make that clear to people. I mean, whenever I've been teaching storytelling in level 3, I will use the one that Ben hates, which is advancing the story. It's easier for students to understand that a Bruce Willis film is not the same as Amelie or whatever the fucking name is, the art house one.
Amelie, yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Yeah. So yes, mechanically, if you're dissecting a scene down to its parts, then I agree 100% that what you're doing is expanding. If it's just kind of staying in that position, but then there's a change that happens, then you're advancing in some way, in the way that you would if you were fencing, basically. So yes. So just want people to be aware that there could be a difference in semantics, and it's always a great idea to ask a teacher when you say advance or when you say expand, what specifically, there's that word, do you mean by that? So that's
Right.
all I want to say. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And I'll just clarify what I was saying there about advancing is not just necessarily just emotional stuff. Another advance that would be more obvious is say like, you know what? Let's do it. And we walk into the radio thing and we do it.
Yes.
And we sit down and so that is an advance. And then starting the interview would be another advance, smaller advance there, right? So then we do the interview and stuff like that. And then that's just more of like stasis. We're there. Uh,
Yeah.
and then the DJ is like, yeah, that's great to hear about your new dog show that you guys are putting on. But uh but what about the affair? Dun-dun. Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah,
you're
yeah,
advancing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing that as stasis and movement. Stasis and movement. That's kind of how I'm seeing that mechanically. Um, yeah. So students of mine, if you're watching, I'm not changing advance and expand in storytelling. That's not going to happen. Ben has not
And
convinced me.
no
But
one's
but
no
but I'm incorporating stasis and movement because I think that's a really cool thing that Ben's just told me.
very cool. And I will start saying the word stasis instead of stasis.
Well, you said it. You said stasis. I love that word. Stasis is a great word. Who uses stasis
I've
in a
never
in a
I've
conversation?
never heard that
No
word
one's using
before,
that word. Yeah,
stasis.
100%. Stasis. Yeah, it's SM. Stasis and movement. There's the acronym for you, right?
I love it. It needs a vowel. We'll get one in there.
SM. Sadomasochism. It's all there. You
It's all
know.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
So where was what was one of the last scenes words of our thing, and then we might want to end this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to end this. I think we're going on to like 40 minutes now. For
Yeah.
for guys, for a 1 minute scene. Okay, so far, so you can see the dissection that's going on here. You can see that there's so much going on behind the scenes in a scene,
Yeah,
right?
and just to be clear, there's two kinds of 1 minute scenes. One is a 1 minute scene where you know it's 1 minute, and therefore you might be doing things like getting the who, what, where out
Yeah,
earlier,
like a short form.
or your premise or
Yeah,
something like that earlier. And the other
yeah.
kind of 1 minute scene is like you do a scene and it happens to be cut after a minute and you weren't in control of that or you didn't
Mm.
think about that. So I think we're doing more of the latter because we didn't decide to do a 1 minute scene here. We just
No.
allowed ourselves to have an open scene.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And again, it depends on the intention, guys. So you get a lot of short form players. I've got a client at the moment who's doing improv like one-on-one coaching, and he is short form and he's finding it hard to do long form. Because in short form, you know you've got a time limit, you know you've got to get all that shit out. And then if you're going to do a long form that's going to have, more pathos, is going to have more sort of mono scene type stuff, you got time, you got the luxury, you've got the building of characters that can happen. But if you're from short form, it's much more important to get out that punchline or to get out that tilt. If you're Johnstonian, platform tilt, So yeah, again, what is the purpose? And it comes back to what we were talking about before about, are you doing a Harold? Are you doing that 20%? What are you doing? It depends on what you're doing as to how you approach it. So as Ben said, we didn't go, this is a short form thing, we're doing a minute. We thought we had 40 minutes to do this show. But we really had 40 minutes to talk about this show. And Keith would be rolling in his grave right now because we haven't even done the show. We've just talked about it. All right. So the guy has come in and said, "Oh, you're on," and I've said to you, "Don't worry about it. Like just concentrate on the questions." Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Okay. Cut to inside the.
Cool. So there's two different things, right? So Lindsay said cut to save the walk, and I was comfortable just doing like the walk too, like the walk, the way that if I just walk like this, like then it's just kind of a waste of the audience's time, right? But if I go in with the emotion that I had, then that could be just as interesting as anything that was going to be said later on, right? If we are more interested in the advance, then we just say cut to. If you really care a lot about that, either you need to talk to your partner later on or ahead of time about like, hey, what do we do in situations like that?
That's so
or you
true.
just need to take yourself less seriously and just shut up.
Yeah, one of those options. So again, guys, the only reason I said cut to is because I know we're on a time limit. So if we're on a time limit, we don't have much time, we're just going to go cut to because I want to see the walk. But if the walk is important for the subtext of the show and you have the time, do the walk. All right?
Yes, thank you. And now we're just in the studio. Okay.
Cut to the studio, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, I can hear myself. Is that normal? Like, it is? Oh.
We've done this before. Yeah, we're totally like know what's going on. 100%. Yeah. Thanks for having us. Yes,
Now,
so we
now?
yes.
We talk now? Okay. Talk now. We're talking. We're talking.
Yes, so yes, we first found the hole
Yes.
on February the 20th.
It was huge. It was a hole. Can you imagine a hole in the ground?
It was huge. And it wasn't there the day before.
No. Where did it come from? Nobody knows. We don't know where it is or why. We know where it is, but we don't know why it is.
We don't know why it is.
We don't know why.
We can't get into our backyard anymore because there's so many people looking at the hole.
But we need money. Please, if you're coming to look at the hole, we need everyone to come by. We have an honesty box.
And be honest.
Be honest.
Be honest and just put money in the box because
all we are asking for is $60 per person per minute.
That's right. And it's a big hole. Okay, it's worth $60 at least. Oh no. Sorry, can we cut? Yeah, just do the outro. Okay. Okay.
Tom, are we done?
Yeah, we're done. You take the headphones off.
Thank you for your time.
Tom, you got the headphones.
It was all a blur. Yeah. It was all a blur.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Out here. Okay. How did it go?
We did it. We did it. We totally did it. Tom.
Wow. Yeah, sorry. All I remember is we got the part out about the hole.
The hole, yeah. Tom, you said $60. We kind of agreed on $120.
$1.20, right?
No,
Uh
120, Tom.
oh, because I thought
How could you make
120
that
was too
decision?
low, and so then I just thought
Yes.
60 is. Did I say 60
No,
in the?
you said 60, and we rehearsed this like 5 times before we came in here. There was a 120. How are we supposed to live on $60 per person to the whole?
You know what?
Tom, we're supposed to be a
You know what?
team.
You know what? We got this.
Okay, 60 is better than nothing. We got this. Okay.
We got this.
Okay. We got this. We did it.
All right, lights out there.
It's like again, and you see the effect of when you know you don't have much time, they're advancing.
Yeah.
It's just bang, bang, bang,
Right.
bang, bang. You see that happen, right? In the beginning, it was all slow and da, da, da. And it's like, fuck, we've only got so much time left. Bang,
Yeah.
get it
Yeah.
out, do it.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
fun. And so I'll just spit out like let's just do play by
yeah,
play real quick and
yeah,
interrupt
yeah,
each other
yeah.
here. It's fine. So
Yep.
we said we talked about all the things that we could do, and then we ended up just going in.
And we didn't do any of it.
Right.
We didn't really do any of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 And so then we went in and we decided to play with, the
Mm,
nervousness. We didn't say cut to the interview. We cut to getting into the interview. So we
yeah.
played with that and the fact that we didn't know how to do this. And
Hmm.
then you're like, I'm very obviously I've never done this before. And then you
Mm,
said we've done this a lot before. Now,
yeah.
an idiot or new or arrogant improviser will come in and be like, you just blocked my offer where I'm obviously saying I've never done this before. You guys, I don't know if blocking really exists, but you would be much better to convince your brain that blocking does not exist.
Yeah.
Everything is a gift. If so, Lindsay's saying like we've done this tons of before, it's denying my reality, but not like the actor's reality of the scene. She's not like, we're on a spaceship. Who the fuck are you
It
talking to?
it is, but at the same time, if you looked at my face, you would know that I was overcompensating. I was
Yeah,
just
exactly.
saying that we've done this a million times before to try and look good in front of the radio people because I'm really worried about Tom fucking it
Right.
up.
Right. And then
Yeah,
as soon
yeah,
as I
yeah.
realized, and so then I picked up on that. As soon as I picked up on
Yeah.
that, you're afraid to pick me up. I was like, oh, now I got to really fuck this up.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then it's like, and this is gonna be comedy gold because if you fuck things up, then it's comedy. So
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
like decided to make things worse. I started talking louder.
Yeah.
Uh, there's something called the absurdity curve that I learned from Mike Robinson. Bless his soul, he died a couple months ago unexpectedly.
Oh,
I have no idea, but he's one of the people that brought improv to New Zealand
wow.
from Canada, and so he taught me this absurdity curve, which you might either know already or you instinctually know is start off with something a little bit crazy and then get a little crazier and let it go up, right? And it's probably
Yeah.
an exponential thing as opposed to a linear thing. And so we started with just me not being loud enough, then or me being too loud, and then uh we were doing that game of like
Yes.
say one thing in
One
a
one
whole.
bit, one bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I was having fun a little bit with you being specific and me just being the hard yes character as opposed to yes and. And I was just like, yeah, a hole. Can you imagine a hole? I was like being so vague.
Yeah, yeah,
And then,
yeah, yeah.
but then eventually we added on to each other and did the improv thing. But
Yeah.
so that was one game. And then the other game is just getting worse and worse at being on the radio
Mm.
all the time. And then doing absurd things like charging somebody $60
Yeah.
it's like way too much money to come look at a hole. And then I was like, per minute, per person. That makes it just even dumber. So I was just like making it
Yeah.
dumber and dumber as I went along. I didn't plan any of it. I just like I said this, so what should I say now?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. If this is true, what else is true but worse?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, worse or heightened or whatever. Yeah. So this is the thing. I want to go back to you talking about the block thing. Now, you knew that I wasn't blocking you, but like you said, if people aren't that experienced and they hear somebody say something that is in opposition, they can always just, even if the person is blocking them, they can just assume it was subtext.
Always. I do
Yeah.
not, when I'm in performance mode, I don't have that concept in my mind of blocking like it at
Mm.
all. It's, if I was doing like an Armando and the job of the first person to come out is to state the premise of the game basically that they're playing, and
Yeah.
someone like cuts me off and says something differently, then maybe I would allow myself to be like, I'm screwed. But I have to
Mm.
come in assuming everyone wants to have fun. Everyone is here to build something fun together. And so I must have just made a mistake. That's like the worst that I'll think. But when we're doing free form, since there literally is no wrong thing that can happen,
Yeah.
I accept everything as a gift and they were going that way. And think look at the results of that, right? Is like, oh wow, she's basically saying that we have tons of experience there and I know I don't. So
Yeah.
therefore, I'm going to do my best to look like I know exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to yell and I'm going to be
Yeah. Yeah.
forceful
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Totally.
and I found myself also like looking around. I'm like, who am I looking
Yeah.
at? So I'm like there's like two DJs.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
So,
Yeah.
so, so that's like an assert and assess thing. So I have
Mm.
this three-part method of looking back on improv, the ABC method, which is like,
Oh, it's another acronym.
yeah, there you go. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like assert and assess, right? Like I just did something. I'm looking left and right. That's my asserting something. Then I'm assessing. I'm not judging and being like, God, Ben, who are you even looking at? That's stupid. Be like, no, you must have known who you were looking at.
Yeah.
You, actor Ben, just don't know yet. Oh, it must just be that there's two DJs, like a DJ and a producer here. So I'm like looking at both of them while I'm
Yeah.
talking to them, like cool.
Yeah.
And then bounce and
Which is
build.
great.
Yeah, the
Yeah. I
bees that
love
bounce
that.
and build, you and I are bouncing and building off of each other, right?
Mm.
And then the last thing I'll say, because I'm talking too much now, but I just want to get it out
No,
because I'm
sorry.
gonna
What's
forget
the
it.
C?
Oh, it's change. Look for the change.
Okay. Look for the change. Yeah.
And so then
Okay.
for the change, so we built up this whole crescendo thing, and then I just started crying like as the change.
Yeah, and I just love how you just you just start walking out with the headphones, and in my mind there's a lead, like so you're just like walking, and I'm like you still got the headphones on, and you can hear this desperation in my character because I've just told everybody we've done this a million times, and then here's this guy like just with the headphones and the leads like still attached, and he's like just leaving the
I didn't even notice that. That's so funny.
yeah yeah yeah. It's so funny. It's so
Oh,
funny.
that's good. And you do want to be aware
Um,
of that and hold on to that as a reality. If you think the other person didn't take their headphones off,
yeah
then you got
yeah
to hold
yeah,
on to it because the
100%.
audience probably saw the same thing.
Yeah, and that's what because like you start. I was saying to you, I was doing this. I was going, but you were looking at the producer or something, and I was going, you got your headphones on. Tom, you got your headphones on, right? And he was just, yeah, thanks everyone. Like that, right? Now, if you were an improviser that didn't have much experience, you'd feel bad, like going on at him. You still got your headphones, but you have to do that because the audience has seen it.
Yeah.
Like so, I remember I told you ages ago. Patty Styles told that story about these two people start a scene. One knocks on the door. They come into the scene. The other person's eating spaghetti. He puts the spaghetti down on his chair. He goes to the door. They come and then he sits on the chair, and the whole audience just goes because they know there's a bowl of spaghetti there, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing with like object work and stuff like that too. It's kind of like if you do something really like because he made a thing of that, like putting it on. So then I did it. And then it's like if I was a nervous improviser, like, oh, I don't think no, it's okay, just pretend that he didn't do it. And he's like, no, he did it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like go.
You got to hold on to
You
it
told me
then.
you've got the head, but the great gift about that is it just solidifies this guy doesn't know what the hell is going on, and he's embarrassing me because I've just told everybody, oh yeah, we've done this like 100 times, right?
Yeah, and that's the gift. You have to, so those are the
Mm.
so-called mistakes that are
Mistakes,
gifts.
gift,
And
totally.
it's just if I haven't made it clear yet, the way that I think of improv is a series of discoveries. That's just the whole thing is a big discovery. And
Yeah.
so that is one of the discoveries that you made there, and it just says so much more about the scene than you intellectually probably could, right? So just take those gifts
100%.
that that just come. And then the
100%.
change, and so then the change again, another change was like after just getting it to the lowest of the low, where you it just failed. It's getting out of there and being like, that was amazing,
Yeah, 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 totally.
and just like
And
flipping it
then,
around. Yeah,
yeah, and then changed again when I said, yeah, but you're supposed to say 120. You did, and then you're so inept that you go $1.20. I'm like, no, like 120. That's what we said.
Yeah.
So you're just doubling down on like your character being this kind of sort of
Yes.
vacillating between nervous and ecstatic, like clumsy sort of like character that just kind of like a bit of a whirlwind just comes into things and just does them, and
Yes.
us caring about each other because we
Yes.
were still the caring about each other thing, but it was just I'm being embarrassed by you,
And
you know.
that's what so that's what all like storytelling is. You can have Bruce Willis jumping over towers and things like that, but the whole thing is about him and his wife. And
Mm,
he might only see her like one or two scenes of the whole movie, but
yeah,
he's doing all that to save his wife, or his
yeah,
ex-wife at that point or whatever. And so we can go through all these things and it's helpful. I don't want to say it's important because then you'll be thinking about it, but it's helpful for you, at least toward the end, to bring it back to who you two are to each other. So this is where
yes,
I allowed my intellect to come in. I'm totally fine with people thinking and using their intellect for the last 10 seconds of a show
mm.
because
Well, you
uh
got to wrap it up in that too.
you
Sometimes you've
got
got
to
to
wrap
think
it up.
about,
It's got to end.
yeah, yeah.
So a classic way to end things, which is how 99% of everything ends, is to bring it back to the beginning, which is
Mm.
we got this. We got this.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
we
yeah.
did it.
It's nice. People like that circular feeling of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when they see the circle and when it's over, then people say that, including us, they look back on it and say, what was that about? What lessons did we learn from that? And so
Mm.
if I were to have time to hang out with you after the show, with some nice kombucha or something like that, we would say, sorry, lemon ginger kombucha in a
Yeah,
bottle
that's
for
not
four
specific.
dollars
Yeah,
and
exactly.
75 cents.
100%. Yeah, that's what I'm
So,
expecting. Thank you.
so
Yeah.
when we got we're talking about it, we say to ourselves like, wow, what was it with they were so fun and loving, even though they completely failed and they perceived that they failed or they perceived that they succeeded. Obviously they failed. So, but did they really fail if they perceived that they succeeded?
See, these are the great psychological and philosophical debates that happen after improv, guys. It's the sound of one hand clapping. It's that.
Yes,
You
but
know?
if you try to convey a message during your show
No, no, no.
afterwards you have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And your audience probably doesn't have that much to talk about because if you have a premise that you're trying to convey to people to teach them a life lesson, they've seen it before. You're not that original. Nobody cares what you
Yeah,
think. Sorry,
yeah.
people don't care what you think. They don't care what you think because they've already heard it before. All the original thoughts in your head, everyone's already had them. But this amazing thing of improv, of just discovering and doing one thing
Mm.
at a time, creates its own stories, and
Yes.
those stories then we can look back on that and be much more fulfilled in the kind of
Mm.
lessons that we get from these accidental stories instead
Yes,
of these
100%.
on purpose lessons of like you should not be racist, like wow,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah. Well,
I learned
again, if
that
yeah,
in
yeah.
2024, last
Well,
year.
yeah, I mean, look, if those things are important and you really got a message you want to get across, then do scripted. Like write a script. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like that's not improv. Improv is just the like I love what you said, the accidental adventure, basically. That's what improv is. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's a good place to end. Da, da, da,
Thank you.
da. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you
yeah.
for that accidental adventure. It was just an idea
Mm.
that I had a few moments before we hit record here,
Mm. Because that's it.
and
It's accidental, right?
it's accidental. I will now send this to my students, require them to watch it. I will get paid for every minute they watch it.
Good. How much though? Get it right.
A
How
dollar
much do you?
20.
Shh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, cool. I'm loving this behind the scenes thing. Give us some comments about it. What did you get out of it?
Just one comment, Kath.
Just
Just
one,
please.
Kath. And
One.
Mary, did you see Mary put a comment on a
I
video
did.
recently?
Mary, Kath,
Yes.
thank you for watching it. And to the 9 people that came here accidentally, you're still here. that says something.
That says something. And also, our audience, our commenters, we rose by 100%. So I mean that's pretty good. I mean that's really good, right? That's great. 100%, Ben.
That's like 100 emoji feels.
Yeah, totally. Right?
Mm.
Okay, guys, Gen V signing off, and yeah, leave us a comment, and let us know you're there and you're listening, because we know you're watching, because we see the views going up. Okay, we know you're there, so just
Make
like
us less
it.
insecure.
Yeah, do it, please.
Just subscribe.
Just do it, please.
Just subscribe.
Okay.
Hey, we
We
got
got
this.
this.
So stupid.